Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Let's discuss about the spiritual science of Mantra Vidya. Sanatana Dharma is known for Mantra, Yantra and Tantra. I have added Ganit Vidya, the divine mathematics, to the concept to make into four in one so that we understand everything which is divine as such. Mantras are as designed by nature, not human beings. The real science of Mantra Vidya, as we can experience, is something which I am going to talk about it in this particular video. Now, my mission, as you know very well, is impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known, and my greatest discovery is Divyan, the divine design of nature, which is the perfect object of the entire universe, right up to Mahagram, Brahmant, Pindant, right up to ABC of human body. Now, this experience of so many years of my life, what I have found to be impeccable wisdom is what I am going to talk with respect to mantras also as we proceed. Now, the science of mantra, let's understand. The first manifestation after the creation of the universe was Akash Bhuta, quintessence, or the modern science can say plasmatic state of the matter, the fifth state, which can also be ether. It is also the essence, brilliant light, and so many things have been given to this. But the subtlest form is Akash Bhuta, which created after the creation of the universe. Let me say, before the creation, it was Neon 21, when it is united to form Neon 21, effulgence, and when settled down, Akash Bhuta came as the light from which everything appeared. And the first sound vibration, mantra, was Om. I think I have said again and again, even today modern science agree, the first phonetic sound is Om. And Om as such, Mandukya Upanishad is concerned, say, A is Akara. When the vibration of sound, Akara, A, you should feel in the lower abdomen where Muladhara Chakra is. When you say you should vibrate the heart and chest by and large. The U is connected with percussion and chest and heart, lungs. When you say Ma, your head should vibrate and the whole concentration will be the higher centers. A, lower centers, U, middle centers, M, higher centers. And then you should be in a position to go beyond to Turiya stage, which is the dot stands for. If you can experience that within the physical body, I can assure you, you can experience Brahman and Maha Brahman also at the same time. So coming to the real Mantra Vidya, the essence of that is Om only. Now let me make it very clear. Om is not the sound done by Sanatanis of Akhand Bharat alone. Jews who are from Israel, they do say the same thing as Shal Om. Shal Om is again Om there. Christians say Amen is also the slight variation of Om only. If Amin say Al Amin is also the same sound of Om. At the same time, if Sikhs say Ahankar, so-called Omkara, are there so many versions by different people centered around Om, Om and Om only. So I think universally accepted that Maha Mantra of the great universe is Om only. Anyone who can experience Om within the physical body, Om within the universe, you are in tune with Akash Kosh, you can be in tune with universal consciousness. And that's why Vedas are also called Shruti, directly heard, because that's the sounds are there. Nature is producing those sounds. Once you're in tune, that all the secrets of the universe are known. Now when come to the word in Sanskrit or Devanagari, one letter is called Akshar. But if you look at it, Akshar is also derived from Akash only. That means the whole language is from Akash Kosh and Akshar is one. The combination of Akshars is also mantras. The study of mantra is called Mantra Vidya. Mantra associated with the mind. Now, one thing, let me make it very clear. AUM, this can be with the physical body, emotional body, as well as mind concentration. So, right up to physical body, to emotion, to the mind, all connected with all the kleshas or defects of the body. With chanting of Om and mantras itself, you can control the physical body, you can control emotional body, you can control breath, you can control mind, and you can be a perfect human being. And that is what essence is put it into Bhakti Yoga as such. So I would simplify as Om, the mantra is more than enough, a Shalom is enough, Amin is enough, Amen is enough, Ankara is enough, and so-called Onkara also serves the purpose. Let's go to the next stage. Mind is also associated with the heart. So let's say Mantra Vidya is closely connected with the heart at the center as you. So the symbol would be, as you can see, what? Anahata Chakra only. Chanting a mantra can control the mind, as I've said it. Fluctuations of mind is yoga, and control of mind leads to intelligence, and also associated with controlling of the breath. More and more you are able to physically exercise, emotionally stable, chanting of mantras, breathing properly, you can be perfectly yogi in tune with universal consciousness. That itself prepares you for the higher levels of consciousness. That can also make you realize all the centers within your body, and you can move on to the higher and higher levels of universal consciousness. So hence, mind is associated with physical body, it is associated with breath, it is associated with consciousness, it is also with mantras, and that itself can control the physical body. So importance mantra cannot be downgraded. And if you can convert the mantra into yantra, which I have done, even Om I have done with A, U, M and Turiya, speaks volumes that we can have. And mathematically also I have talked about it, that this particular thing is equal to 22 by 21 also. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 1 is what Mandukya Upanishad is also talking about, and all Upanishads also make it clear this is Om. So starting up Mantra Vidya with Om is the first thing which I want entire world to understand. Just sit comfortably or exercise and just chant A, U, M, and the whole thing will revolve within you. All the chakras from the backside will go up to Sahasrara chakra and come down to the front chakras to Muladhara once again. You can do with Om itself, with a super conscious consciousness, ascending through the back chakras and descending from the lower chakras. Once you create that aura around you, it's a phenomenal experience of feeling Satchit Anand just with Mantra Vidya or Bhakti Yoga alone. No wonder Bhakti was so given importance. Up to that an extent, for physical health, emotional health, mental health, this is more than enough to give you integrated health. Then as far as Jnana Yoga is concerned, it takes you to higher levels of understanding. And in that understanding the concept and understanding all the 64 arts, step by step, give you the knowledge of the entire universe, mathematical design, scientific design, and thereafter. So, Tantra Vidya is a physicalized anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and psychology. Mantra Vidya is Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga is for the knowledge and can take you to higher level. And once all that is done is what is Akhand Yoga all about. Once you go to the 10 stages of Akhand Yoga, you are in tune with universal consciousness. And that is what I've been trying to say. If you are a perfectly healthy person, take care of the physical health, emotional health, mental health, and psychological health, religious health, social health, and spiritual health. You are in tune with yourself and the universe by and large. And that is one is going to make you perfectly person in tune with entire universe. Now they come to the question of origin of sound. The primordial sound, the core of consciousness, is primordial sound. As I told you, all these sounds are produced in the universe itself. Both frequency and amplitude are important parts of the universal consciousness. So Shruti mean directly hit from the cosmos, and best example is Tat and Om. Now again I am saying what Tat and Om. Om I have already explained. Tat I am going to explain when I go to Gayatri Mantra by and large. The human body is Jivatma, 100 trillion cells put together. When they are tuned with each other, you can be a perfectly healthy person. That source of information, origin, in my opinion, it is Antaratma, dwelling soul, or Kundalini, or helium-4, which has given me the source of information within my physical body. Now, then there are stages of sounds within the physical body also, which is important. The most important part which starts is called Para. That means it is associated with Muladhara chakra and Sahasrara chakra on both the sides. Lowermost part is Muladhara for physical body. Sahasrara is a Muladhara for universal consciousness. So that is the sound which you can hear in that. Pashanti is Nabhi or Manipura chakra in the lower abdomen, which gives you the sound. Then Madhyanti is the sound, Madhyama is with Anahata chakra in the heart or the chest or the lungs. Vaikhari is the Vishuddhi chakra when the things express it out. Then you have Ajapa sound when you do not chant. Very silent repetition, the brain. Examples of application of this thing. Para is African singers, and I beg great respect when they take deep breaths and their sound can really feel as if it's coming from Muladhara chakra. That is Para, absolute. So you are coming right up to abdomen in Muladhara itself. That is the beauty. But as far as ancient Indian classical system, we are more into Pashanti. That means our sound can go right up to Navi and from there it rises. Then Indian devotional songs of Bhakti Yoga, they all come from the heart, the devotion, divinity. Then Western singers, by and large, with the due respect, their sound comes from the throat chakra. This is my expression, and I would say this is how I have experienced, and I have respect for all. But as far as I am concerned, I do know all have a role, and as far as Om has given me to come down to Para like Africans, and also gone to Indian classical music like devotional, you, and also to Ma, Baikari, and also to go beyond. So I have experienced that by and large. So that is one part. The Stat, we will talk about it as we proceed. Then we have certain Bij mantras which are connected with certain chakras. Bija means sound. The constant repetition of sound mantra is called Bij mantra. It activates different centers of consciousness or chakras. It can awaken the sleeping Kundalini and lead to ascension of Kundalini through the backside, is I'm talking again. And there are different sounds which world has understood, but I and Akhand Vidyashram talk about 10 centers, not of 7 centers. Let's talk of 7 and 10 simultaneously. Ancients talk about Muladhara chakra, the phonetic sound is Lam. Swadhisthana is Vam. Nabhi is Ram. The Usha is Yam. Anhata is Yam. Usha is not included in ancient. Nabhi is called Manipura. I was also under the impression that Usha is Manipura, but now I know Usha is with the Mercury next to Sun, just below the heart, and it is in the upper celiac region, which is completely connected with digestion of stomach itself. Then Vishuddhi is Ham. Then Ajna is Hamsa, and Vigyan is Soham. Then Pragyan, Om, A-U-M, and Sahasrara is again A-U-M-O. So what started with Lam should end with Om. If this is done experimentally, one by one, concentration on Muladhara, and say beautifully Lam, and go to Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and say Vam. Go to Nabhi and say Ram. Go to Usha and say Yam. Go to Anhata, say Yam. Go to Vishuddhi and say Hum. Go to Agnya and say Hamsa. Then go to Vigyan, Soham. Then go to Pragyan as Om. Then go to Sasra and say Once you are able to sound these sounds as such, but at the same time, let me also tell you, I can chant Om concentrating on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Nabhi, Usha, Anhata, Vishuddhi, Ajna, Vigyan, Pragyan and Sahasrara, and the sound of Om would also change. The complete starts with Muladhara would be complete sound of 22 by 21. But as you move on to the higher level, as go up and up, it will change. And that also has an effect of awakening different centers of consciousness within you. So that's why these are the Bij mantras, the seed mantras, very powerful if you are looking at deeper into concentrating one by one. Now come to the Sapta Swaras. Indian music talks of only 7 swaras. I have no doubt on that. Indian classical is designed, devotional, influences the emotional mind, leads to awakening ascension of soul. North Indian is called Hindustani classical music and South Indian is Carnatic classical music. 7 basic swaras are Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa. Now I have brought into the 10th part. Muladhara is Sa, Swadhisthana is Re, Nabhi is Ga, Usha is Ma, Anhata is Ma, Vishuddhi is Pa, Ajna is Dha, Vigyan is Da, Pragyan is Ni. Then again you come back to Sa. You start from Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa. Once you get the mastery of this, ascending and descending complete, and complete combination is known, you can do wonderfully well in using Satsura to create the music which can make you what you want. In that particular this context, the example which I would give you, if you go to the second video, Divyank Dhwani, it designed with the music which was designed by Mata Parvati to cool Lord Shiva when he was angry doing Tandav Nrit. He was into sympathetic overactivity. He couldn't control and nobody could control. He was so angry, full of energy, dynamic. Then she created the music which in Hindustani classical music you can call it Malkons and Carnatic classics can call Hindolam. And that rag, based on that rag of understanding, I have designed the whole thing with the music, and a friend of mine, Pandit Janardhan Mita, rendered it and I edited it to suit the purpose with which it was designed. And beauty of that is, it starts with sacral parasympathetic stimulation like Muladhara and Swadhisthana, but it bypasses the sympathetic overactivation and then goes to cranial parasympathetic straight away. That means you create Ojas, convert into Tejas without going into compulsive sympathetic overactivity at all. And I can tell you, I have been using that music since 2009. It's been 15 years. Whatever work I'm doing, that music is always on and keeps me very active, alert, attentive, without any stress and strain of sympathetic system at all. And sympathetic system should come only in emergency, not in the normal process. And if you listen to that music, I can assure you, you can do wonderful very well. And of late, I find there's a lot of advertisements where the neuroscientists of the world are talking about coming to the divine music. If the divine music is taking it to 8 Hz frequency, which I have demonstrated, then that is the music which is required for everybody. And for that music, you don't have to pay anything. It's free. 22 minutes and anyone and everybody can do it. We used it for research for my work and results were phenomenal. People got control over hypertension, tension, anxiety, neurosis, diabetes, all the psychosomatic disorders were improved, and that was a highly commended PhD work done in Chettinad University, and I am proud to be a part of that because I brought in the music and I brought in EEG. We did the power spectrum and saw the results in temporal region, which was phenomenal. And I would recommend everyone to use that music to make optimum use of swaras and feel one with it. And I don't want anybody to think, just play the music. Let the music do the work. Don't think for a while. Let the music do the work, that is more important. But I have also gone to different swaras. But I find people go to criticize the music, not to enjoy the music. Whereas I go to just enjoy and let the music do the work. And that is what is important. Let us not be too classical. If music is really good, it's going to show a result on its own. And that's the beauty of Indian classical music. Now come to the question of Sanskrit sounds. Whatever the world might say, I have no other thing. If there is one language which is perfect according to my sign, is Devanagari or Sanskrit. Are Indian languages by and large in that because they originate from Tamil, Sanskrit or Devanagari script. But I am going to talk about that certain words which are important to make 10 centers consciousness, and they are the 16 Sanskrit vowels. And they are the one a, e, le, re, u, e, o, aha. If these sounds alone you chant the way I chant, I can tell you, you'll find vibration moving from Muladhara chakra on the backside to Sahasrara on the backside one by one automatically. That's the real beauty of Sanskrit language. That's the beauty of Devanagari. That's the beauty of these 16 words. They have the power to activate those centers. So designing of Devanagari was not by man-made designs. It was done by the people experience the universal consciousness, those sounds, and then experience that within body. And once they experience that within the body, they found it is a sound which comes from Muladhara Chakra. No wonder all of us, the child first thing learns is Amma only, is A only. So everything is that. And there's also something which I want everyone to understand. Right up to 7 years of your age, let the child be perfect. Let the child not be influenced by anything which is artificial, defective. Let them be truthful, honest, violent. Let the Antaratma teach them. They'll be highly creative. If 7 years of their life, brain is allowed to be developed, and then truthfully 100%, supernatural, they'll become a genius of the highest order. They'll be able to do wonders. And this is based on my own experience, because 7 years I did not go to any school. And I was allowed to see all the places, divine nature with my own light, without anybody telling me what to do and what not to do. No wonder my creativity was 100% from the day one. And that has resulted in the excellent results I have in academic, professional, or research or otherwise. Because I have not allowed anything unnatural to come in the way of my life. For me, I can say, many people ask me, have you ever made a mistake? I said, I've never made a mistake. But I will not like to discuss anything as such, because anything which is true with homeostasis, internal consciousness and external consciousness put together to be in tune with Satchitanand, I do only those things. My food is that, my thought is that, my action is that. Anything which is natural design, I follow. Which is unnatural, I do not. But in the process, I make it clear. If you are naturally what is physiologically perfect, biochemically perfect, psychologically perfect, which can make you perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise and human being, is normal. But unfortunately, what is taught to the world with so many conditions, which in my opinion is defective, and not letting child go to the deviant level which I have come to. I have never allowed anything unnatural to come in my way. But what is natural, I have never subdued at the same time. I do know this is nature design, we are going to go through this and leave it at that. And that has been my experience. Now coming to the next stage. Now come to the divine mantra of Om. At this particular symbol I have connected with the heart chakra, Anahata chakra. In the center you can see one dot, which is Om. Then you can see the one triangle, which is Om. Then 6 times is Om Namo Shivaya, Shiva. Then 12 is Om Shri Vasudevaya Namaha. Then Gayatri has got 24 meters. Then Maha Gayatri has got 48 meters. Akhand Gayatri has 96 meters. You can see the science in this particular symbol of Mantra Vidya as such designed its mathematics. And I want everybody to understand this is a grass. Let's not play with something which is not part of the universal consciousness. That's what over and over I have been saying. If you want to be in tune with universal consciousness, you've got to be focused on divine mathematics, not man-made mathematics, not man-made philosophy, not man-made concepts, which are going to be defective. But if you know the divine mathematics, you are homeostatically perfect, you are as natural as you should be. Every human being is made of reptilian brain, right up to brainstem. You have a mammalian brain, right up to limbic system. You have a primate thinking brain, right up to cortical level. You also have superconscious brain of outer 3 layers of neocortex, which makes you in tune with universal consciousness. Once you know all the things put together, and you can shift both. I make it one thing very clear. Higher consciousness is important, but grounding is equally important. If grounding is done, the Kundalini has to come back to Mooladhara chakra to go to sleep, take rest, digestion, otherwise. If you are a package like that, then you have to be very clear. We have the making of a reptilian brain, we have the making of 4 leg animals, human beings, as well as superhuman beings. Only then you can be in tune with universe. If you say reptilian brain is bad, or mammalian is bad, or primate is bad, or this is good or bad, you are going to come in the way of you blocking your divine energy flow to you in a universal consciousness. And I do know we are full package, and that package speaks volume by itself. Now let's move on. As I told you, Om I started, Mandukya Upanishad I told you. A represent Bhur, the Mother Earth. It's made of 7 parts. The Yukara represent Bhuva, the atmosphere. It's also made of 7 parts. Makara, Suva, the 7 heavens, is also made of 7 parts. 7 plus 7 and 7 is 21 parts. And that is what Upanishads also talk about. Solar system is made of 21 steps. And Mandukya also is also talking about step. And also says one who understands the 7 stages of each is the one who understands it. So Akara is also 7 parts. Yukara is also 7 parts. Makara is, that's what Mandukya. There are only 12 verses. But they are phenomenal to the core. And my symbol design, which I designed in 1974, 50 years ago, is the design which is there in Mandukya Upanishad. I am surprised. How did I do it? But I am glad that I have done it. Now I know what it means. And in this you can see Okara. You can also see Ganesha sitting right there with the meme. And it's phenomenal. And Om is also sound of Lord Ganesha only, which is sense of intelligence, sense of buddhi, sense of discretion, and amazing. And that's it. Now, this particular symbol which I designed way back, 1995, you can see Om right in the middle. And then you can see Bhur Bhava Swa. And that is what the Gayatri Mantra, I have spoken about it as the symbol of Gayatri Mantra as such. Now, then come to the Gayatri Mantra. There are 3 types of Gayatri Mantras. I make it one thing very clear. While in the morning, when sun rises, you chant Gayatri Mantra facing sun and pour water and chant Gayatri Mantra is the Brahmani. And the advantage of that, the light which comes in the morning from sun is ultraviolet. That is, one is going to help you to convert your cholesterol into vitamin D3, and which is important vitamin for calcium formation in the body. You need sodium, you can easily get it. Chloride, you can get it. Potassium you can get it. But as come to the calcium absorption, you need vitamin D by and large. But of course, other things also are interconnected, but for calcium, for heart functions, it is very, very important. For muscle function, it is very important. For coagulation, it's very important. So Brahmani, with the light in the morning, seeing the sun and pouring water and doing it is very essential. Then afternoon 12 o'clock, look at north and chant Gayatri Mantra again, and this is a vertical light which have no influence as such but give you light, can also help you absorb vitamin D3 or form vitamin D3 from the skin by and large. The evening you go and face sun when it's sun setting, and it's called Rudrani, and the Rudrani means it is not talking of Shiva. Brahmani is Vishnu, Vaishnavi is Vishnu, Brahmani is Brahma, Rudrani is not Shiva, it is Rudrani, it's Rudra. That is what is Vedas talking about. Vedas gave importance to Rudra, not Shiva as such. But Om Namah Shivaya mantras are there. But more important is Rudra because they know very well sunset light is infrared, with the morning light ultraviolet. See how scientific was there. Even their names had significance in how things should be done. And that is what I am talking about. And I am glad that this I have learnt, experimented and used a wonderful thing. And this symbol was designed way back in 1995, 30 years ago, was the starting of symbolic representation. So this was Om, Bhur, Bhava, Swa, Gayatri and also 3. And I am sure you can see the light within, you can see the moving up from down up. Very simple. I didn't expect that this symbol is going to turn out to be such important at a later stage as I moved on from lower consciousness to higher consciousness step by step on Mantra Vidya as such. Now let's talk about the Mandukya Upanishad as such when I am talking about Om. The first sound, the greatest Sarvam, the sound is Om. It's omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. It is the past, present and the future. Whatever is there beyond the threefold, the past, present, future is Ankara, the symbol of Om. The symbol that I have showed you is Om. It is manifested past, manifested present, future, and it manifests everything which is manifested, unmanifested, everything. If you want to with universal consciousness, Mandukya Upanishad says it is Om, Ankara. And its 3 versions also it talked about it. And that is what Shlok talks about it. That's the first verse. Then come to the second verse, is very clear. Om is the syllabus of Brahma. Sarvam, and then hence Atma is Brahma. The Atma is made of 4 parts. And Om represents Brahma, Brahma represents soul, and you can see the same thing in Mooladhara Chakra. This was chakra done earlier, and you can see Ganesh, Brahma, Bal Brahma sitting there. And of course you can see many other things. But focus is that it is Om, which is Brahma, the Lord of creation within that. That means all the 1 to 22 parts are there in this particular symbol itself. That's the word uses Brahma, Brahma consciousness, 22 by 21. I realize that his beauty is right in this. Now, the second stage of verse 3 talks about Jagrita, a waking consciousness. And waking consciousness is the way we learn from the external world. It has 7 limbs again and 19 faces. I'll not go to the 19 faces because I don't understand that. It experiences the gross solid matter. It's the first stage of awareness. And you can see that my picture along with 2 of my roommates, fourth one is taking the picture, is how this Jagrat state we should be concentrated only taking care of education, taking care of physical health, mental health, wisdom, everything. And I think for 22 years if you do that, you are building yourself to a fantastic future thereafter. And this is what I realized, 3rd verse, when I was in a school and also in medical college. Now come to the question of the 4th stage is Swapna. First is the waking consciousness, which is 7 parts. Then comes the Swapna consciousness. When in dreaming consciousness, you come to a stage which gives you knowledge within. And let me tell you, I have dreamt so many things in dream forms. And dream has given me the form to answer those things or learn those things which were not possible otherwise. So don't underestimate the value of dreaming, but there are always dreams on both sides, good and the bad. But if you have the concentration to understand the difference between right and wrong, you can make dream useful. And dream also made of 7 parts. And it's essential for understanding the inner consciousness by and large. So you have Atma going within, inside, to give you dream of higher consciousness. Then come to the question of fifth, is one we talked of Sushupta. That means when one person being fast asleep does not desire anything and does not see any dream, is deep sleep, Sushupta. During the third stage of deep sleep, one recognizes one state of blissfulness and the wisdom of 4 directions and dimensions. That is what this particular shloka is talking about. Jagrata, you are in the external world. Dream, you get into one world, and this is your deep sleep. And you see Satchitanand. And I can tell you from my experience, when you go to deep sleep, the first thing you get up is, whoa, I had a fantastic sleep. Now, this statement is also in Chandogya Upanishad, which I will not talk here. Maybe I will talk it later. When they bring certain discussions about different states of consciousness of Jagrata, dream, Swapna, and Sushupta are deep sleep. But all the 3 others, 7, 7, 7. That is something which is very clear in this particular verse. Then come to the 6th level of consciousness, which says, this is omnipotent science, Lord of everything. This is omnipresent wisdom of everything. This is omniscient concept of everything. This is the ultimate source of everything. This is the beginning of everything. This is the end of everything. That means you are talking of Antaratma, Antaryami, Iso Antaryami. Antaryami knows everything. The one who knows everything is your Antaratma, your Atma, your soul, your deep consciousness. And I would say, as far as human beings are concerned, my Antaratma is helium-4. And it is made in the sun, and it's called Aditi. And sun is hydrogen. And this is what makes me be in tune with sun, makes me like sun, who's my father. And I become only to give and forgive, not get and forget. I become intelligent enough to work on conscientiously and just learn to be like Lord. Once a person who is like Surya becomes Surya, is a living example of Surya, he is a perfect human being. And that's it. So now 6 it is, you have become Antaryami because your soul is with, you are one with your Antaratma. You are with helium, Aditi, Antaratma, Kundalini, Prana, whatever you may call it. Then come to the 7th stage, is the 4th state of wisdom, is the self, which is beyond the reach of the sight, words, cognition, imagination, thinking, attributes, bliss, quiet, duality and knowledge. And this is the self, soul, knowing which everything is fully known. And that is what I call is Turiya. This is the 4th state of spiritual wisdom which has to be recognized. 7 stages of Jagrata, waking consciousness, 7 stages of dreaming are Swapna, 7 stages of Sushupta are deep sleep, and then going to one, realize one with the entire universe. That is what Chandogya Upanishad is also talking about, and Mandukya is also talking about. Whole secret of Brahma lies within these 2 things. Solar system is made of 21 parts, and this is also 21 parts. That we have come to 7th stage. Like to realize you have come to Turiya stage, which is 22nd level. That is what Brahma is all about. Now come to the 8th question. This is self in the syllabus of Om. Now it's becoming come again. Once you realize what is that, it is Om only, nothing else. This is an elemental form. It is made of the following 3 components: Akara, Yukara, Makara. This is the ultimate truth to be known. External world, waking consciousness, cause and effect. Internal world, dreaming sense, cause and effect. Prana, deep sleep, is cause and effect. Turiya is beyond the cause and effect, to be tuned with universal consciousness. That is the stage when you become like omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, all present, conscious. In other words, you can say Nirankar, Nirgun, Brahman you become. And that is what is explained in the mantra dome. Om is Tat Sat. Is that truth is Sat. And now I have used the word Tat. That Tat means divine consciousness. Satya means truth. So that divine truth is Om. So that is where Mandukya Upanishad is very, very clear. If you are able to experience Om, you are experiencing Mantra Vidya, you are in tune with universal consciousness, step by step to the level which is unheard of in the rest of your life. And that should be the dream of Bhakti Yoga. Use mantra to control your mind, control your emotion, control everything, and be in tune with the universe. It's a preparation for ultimate consciousness. Now come to the ninth part. Its syllabus is very clear. Talking about now, coming back to again Jagrata state. Syllabus of Vaishnara, the first stage of waking consciousness is the first element, A. The person who knows this truth will obtain all the desires of the external world. This is essence, our teaching of the Vedas. If you want to become like a king, you want to be rich, you want to be healthy, you want to be wealthy, you want to be wise, you got to be like Vaishnavara. And for that waking consciousness, you got to take care. Over and over I have been saying, you cannot be one with universal consciousness without the perfect physical health. Even in 70s, 80s, 90s, 100, your physical body should be as strong, muscles should be as strong, all the things should be as good when you are 21. And that is what this particular syllabus is talking about. Under no circumstances your physical health should be deteriorated. You should prevent all the problems, you should curtail aging, you should reverse aging, not let it go. Even your 80s, 90s and 100s, you are as dynamic as you are 21 years. If you can do that, you have understood this concept very well, which is called Vaishnavara. That is Jagrata state. Now come to the 10th part, is Tejas. The second stage is the light effulgence, which appears in dream state. In that case, you can see the light within your brain itself, in the ventricles. Once in the ventricles, only then you realize Yukara. It's the essential revolution or exaltation. Person who knows the ascension will be born with the knowledge of previous life. And the person will be born in a Brahmin family. Now I am bringing Brahmin family not mean Brahman. I means a Brahman divine family. I do know Brahmin is a reflection of Brahman. But I don't see all the Brahmins as Brahman, as Nirankar, Nirgun, as Satgun, Sargun, Brahman. But a person who has reached the level of Tejas, who's there in dreaming, in the dream itself he'll be able to see. And what I'm talking about, Devyank and other thing, is a part, reflection is part of my dreams itself. I accept it with all that. And then come to the 11th part, is the prajna, the wisdom. Now, you have the knowledge of the external world, you have the light, and then you have the impeccable wisdom which appears as the third part, in deep sleep. When you go to deep sleep, you are totally disturbed. You come to Makara stage. But in that, everything appears by and large. But in Chandogya Upanishad, even Indra says, I know I had sleep, fantastic, but I do not know what exactly happened. But I know things are happening. All the things what have happened will finally become clear when you wake up and you are in tune with universal consciousness. And that is what I mean. You come 8 Hz alpha frequency throughout the brain with eyes open. You are in tune with Akash Kosh. And that's again we have come to the Akash Kosh. You have come to Akshara. You have come to Akash Bhuta. And that is what is going to be the last stage. But these 3 stages prepare you from external knowledge of data information knowledge to the light wisdom, and then impeccable wisdom, and then to Turiya stage. Let's go to that stage again. And when come to the Turiya stage, this 4th state of wisdom which has no element at all. It can be spoken of it. It is a non-dual. The 3 words are resolved in it. The syllabus Aukara is the real self. The person is known by this, enters the self. That means you want to be in tune with universal consciousness. You want to be Atma. You can't be Paramatma. You got to be Shivam. You got to be Brahma. You got to be Vishnu. then only thing which works is your Turiya stage only. Once you come to the Turiya stage, you are one in tune with universal consciousness. And this, we come to the end of Mandukya Upanishad as far as Om is concerned. Now I know how beautiful is this, how this itself has given me the knowledge of Devyank. First step very clearly. Brahmank 22 by 21 is very clear in this. The 10 stages is also very clear, and of course 0.344 is also there, but not as explicit as 22 by 21. But let's move on to the next stage. Comes Akhand Gayatri Mantra, which I have evolved from Rig Veda to Yajur Veda to other Vedas to present stage of Upanishad to Akhand Sutra. Let's understand how evolution has taken place on Mantra Vidya itself. Now, as far as Rig Veda is concerned, the mantra does not start with Om Bhur Bhava Swa. It starts with only Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimhi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodhyat. The first word Tat is very, very important. That's what I say, Om Tat Sat. Then I say Tat, mean it's a divine energy, divine design of nature. That is Tat Tvam Asi. Again, divine nature and everything is made in identical thing is also something which I realized. Now we are going to understand these words very clearly, one by one. Now I am bringing to word Tat because I feel Tat is one thing which has not been understood to the extent it should have been understood, because very beginning of Gayatri Mantra in Rig Veda is with Tat only. And also they start with Tat Savitur Varenyam. And this reflection you can see Tat Tvam Asi. But when you ask the people Tat Tvam Asi, what people normally talk, I am like God. This perfection is not clear. Because according to me and Akhand Vedyashram, this is not true. Tat means the divine nature. Tvam means every object. Asi means identical. That every perfect object of the divine nature is identical. Message is very clear. There is a divine design which is stirred in Tattvamasi, and that divine is Devyank, the one divine design which is a perfect object. The soul is there in Tat itself, and Tattvam is also Devyank like that. Once I have understood that, it's easy for me to redefine the whole thing, and no wonder this is my perception, I am leaving it. And leave it to the people to take it the way they want to take it. Then come to the next stage, Yajur Veda. By the time they realize that Tat actually means Bhur Vava Swa. That means it has got three consciousness. Bhur Bhava Swa with Turiya. So Tat has got 22 by 21 is what Bhur Bhava Swa is all about, including Turiya. Let me make it very clear. I do not use Om. I use Om. Last Turiya should be a part between two chantings. And once that is understood, then you understand, then sound of vibration is there, Bhur, Bhava and Swa, all the three, and then going beyond that. Once that is understood, I think then you understand what Yajur Veda is improvisation to Rig Veda. Tat tu bhur bhava swa tat savitur varenyam vargo devasya dhimhi dhiyo yonaha prachodhyat. That's the movement to Akash Kosh or much higher level otherwise. Then this is a concept which I have already spoken about. Earth is made of 7 parts. Antriksh is made of 7 parts. There are 7 heavens, and then beyond is 22 Brahmank. Now comes the Gayatri Mantra as we chant on today. We have added Om in front of Bhur. But the Om which I put is exactly the Om which I have used. And you can see in that. So, Om Bhur Bhavaswa Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimhi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodhyat. Once you are able to chant this mantra as such, you can be in tune with universal consciousness, much more defined. Om itself can do. But this is more precise. Because you're going to feel one with the earth element, you're going to feel one with Antriksh, you're going to feel with heaven, and you also go beyond the solar system to spiral galaxy. And that is what is reflected from first month symbol which I made in 95 to the second symbol which is dissolved over a period. It's a beautiful transition. You can see central structure hasn't changed, but everything has been added to understand the beauty of experiencing shunya within my body, and saying that Akhand Bharat, people knew very well that mathematical design starts with shunya, zero, and other number followed from zero. Not like the West, where they came to realize importance of that only after 6th century, and then India gave that word specifically to them through Aryabhatta or Bas. But the reality is, we knew it from the very beginning that it is shunya, which is zero. Now the Gayatri Mantra's meaning I have written in this particular thing. You can read it as and when you require. But as I told you in the beginning, chanting of Brahmani in the morning is 6 a.m., Vaishnavi at noon, and Rudrani Gayatri at 6 p.m. If you are able to do that after Yogasana, Pranayam and meditation, you can be in tune with universal consciousness and you can be super intelligent by and large. Then I go a little step further to talk about Maha Gayatri Mantra, which is found in Maha Narayani Upanishads. But in this particular case, you have 7 Vyatis. The mantra goes like this: Om Bhur, Om Bhuva, Om Suva, Om Maha, Om Jana, Om Tapa, Om Satyam, Om Tatsavitur Varenyam, Vargo Devasya Dhimhi, Tiyo Yonaha Prachodhyat. Then it comes to the third part: Om, Apo, Jyoti, Rasomritam, Brahma, Bhur, Bhava, Swa, Om. Now it is slightly, I put in my experience, I make it Om as such. I am not going to put Om because I think that is misconception. This has made me realize the external world completely. That on external side there are 7 levels. What Mandukya is also talking about, all the Upanishads also talking about, all the world knows about. But this is the mantra which is chanted during Raksha Bandhan or Avaniyatam. Very clearly, take it to one level. I think this is a phenomenal improvement from Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimhi Diyo Yona Prachodhyat to these 7 stages. Up to this mantra is well known, and that is what I told you in the beginning. Right up to Gayatri is at 24 meters, Maha Gayatri is 48 meters. Now come to that stage, Akhand Gayatri, which I have designed from my experience, keeping 10 chakras in mind within my physical body. Those 7 I had experienced earlier. That external side. Now this is internalized in Antar Yoga. Then I have put it as this: Om Bhur, Om Bhuva, Om Swa, Om Maha, Om Jana, Om Tapa, Om Gyan, Om Vigyan, Om Pragyan, Om Satyam. Those, all these 10 chakras concept you can see in this particular 10 Vyatis itself. And you got to feel one with Bhur when you say the first Om. Then you got to feel one with the Pranamaya Kosha, the second one. You then should feel one with universal consciousness. Then you should go higher and higher and higher. You can go to reach the higher levels of universal consciousness from self to Brahmant to spiral galaxy to Mahabrahmant. You can feel one with this. But these you have not 10 stages as such. Then you get Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimhi Diyo Yonaha Prachodhyat. Then come to the second part. Instead of 7 you have 10. So first is Om Bhur, then Om Bhuva, Om Sava. Then comes to stage of Jyoti, the light. Then comes to the Vayu. Then comes to the Amrit essence, Akash Kosh. Then comes to the Om. Then you go to Prashakti, Adi Prashakti. Then go to Om Gayatri. Then go to Om Aditi. Then go to Om Jivatma. And how ascension and descension. I have defined all what I experienced in the stage to be a perfect within myself, perfect with my Antratma, Aditi, perfect with Gayatri, perfect with Adi Prashakti, perfect with universal consciousness, perfect with Satchitanand. All that I experienced, since I have experienced that within me, I thought easy for me to make Akhand Gayatri Mantra as such, a improvisation from Rig Veda's Gayatri Mantra to Yajur Veda to Gayatri to Maha Narayani to Akhand Gayatri. I think it's been a great journey for me, and this is what has made me realize that Divyank lies in this. You have 22 by 21 to the power of 10, and this is what ultimate is. And I think anyone could experience that. You can lead to the universal consciousness of Nirankar, Nirgun, Brahman, or Sakar, Satgun, Brahman. Now coming to the last stage, entire universe as such I know is put into this particular picture where I have explained Ida, Pingla, Sushna Nadi, and Antaratma within that is what soul consciousness is all about. I think it's enough for the day. I think it's been wonderful talking to you about my experience on Mantra Vidya, how I have experienced the beauty of mantra, complete vichardhara, complete mind, complete consciousness, complete bhakti yoga as a part of source of feeling one with devotion or Ishvara Prani Dhana itself. And to be in tune with universal consciousness, Mantra Vidya plays very important role, and I think that's enough. So thank you very much. Thank you.